Recipes don't have to be new to be good. In fact, the one Sallie Swor is making today goes back several decades, and she says it's just as good now as it was the first time she tried it. Great to have you on the show as always, and there is a cool story behind this recipe we're doing today.
Leland, there is. Thank you. I'd love to be here. When I was growing up in Nashville, my best friend's mom was a fabulous cook. She was German by descent, and she came to this country with a lot of her recipes. And so we would go to her house and just have these incredible dishes that I'd never heard of before. And this is one, beef roulade. And I ran into Lottie a few weeks ago, and I said, I've got to get that recipe. And she handed me a little hand-printed copy of it. And I brought it home and made it. And what I can say is my family was really mad I hadn't been making it all along. So I intend to change that. This is going to be a staple on our menu. But the food at her house seems so exotic to me as a Southern girl growing up with great cooks, but not beef roulade.
All right, so we're going to do this. It's tightly rolled beef here, so go ahead and get us started.
Okay, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to coat each piece with mustard, and then I'm going to put a mix of cayenne pepper, garlic, salt, and paprika on it. Mrs. Strupp used a herb that I can't really get anymore, so I think that's going to work out.
Okay,
and you're going to slice up these pickles really thinly for me. And so I'm going to start with the mustard and just a little bit of a smear. And you know, some people think that this would taste weird, but it cooks in along with the pickles. It's an interesting recipe.
Okay, and it's not Dijon or anything. It's not fancy mustard, just regular old what you find in the kitchen.
Mustard from the grocery store. Nothing fancy, but you can use. I always say use whatever you have. I don't want people to not cook because they don't have an ingredient. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is just put a little sprinkle of this spice on here. And again, it's salt, garlic, salt, paprika. And just a little bit of cayenne for heat. I know you like a little heat. Okay, and then here's the best part, Leland.
Okay, what's that?
Bacon.
Ooh, gotta love bacon.
I know. If you can get beef and pork in the same dish, it's a winner.
Fantastic.
All right, so I'm just going to lay these down. I'll start over here, and then you can top each piece with 3 little pieces of pickle.
Okay.
And I think when Lottie Strupp did it, she sliced her pickles long ways, but they just didn't work as well for me that way. So I'm going to do it like that.
All right.
And then the fun part of this is you roll them up and secure them, and you quickly roll them in flour and then just lightly saute them to brown them. And then they cook on top of the stove on the skillet for about 1.5 hours, and your house smells wonderful.
So when it's slow, it's always good if you got to slow cook it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right, let me show you what you do. You're going to need 2 toothpicks. Start at the bottom.
All right.
And you're just rolling it up. I won't guarantee you it's the neatest dish you've ever made.
All right.
So you have a perfect little roll like that. Grab a couple of toothpicks and just stab them through. You have, when we eat this at home, I just tell my family, watch out for the toothpicks, but if you have company, you're going to want to get these out.
Okay, all right.
Okay. And Miss Strupp always served these with, usually with roast potatoes. Just delicious. Everything that she made was delicious.
All right. And this is one, I guess, so you started, I guess, eating this one as a child too.
Yeah.
So you'd like it a lot, and I guess kids would love it because it's finger food and everything.
Oh, it's delicious. It's delicious. And it's, you know, it's sort of like a German version of pot roast or sauerbraten or something like that because it's got all that flavor in it.
So it's not necessarily the pretty.
I think mine's prettier, but I don't know. It's your first time. So then the next step that would be to roll it in the seasoned flour. And when I say seasoned, it's just got a little bit of salt and pepper in the flour.
All right, and then once we put it over here, how long will it cook? An hour and a half?
About an hour and a half.
All right, just low heat?
Low simmer, just a nice low simmer.
All right, that's what it looks like right there, and boy, that looks good. This is recipe number 5178, and it's online right now in the Talk of the Town recipe section at newschannel5.com. And they're watching right now, so you want to give them a quick shout out?
Okay, yeah. Hello.
All right,
Hi, ladies.
as always, thank you very much for being with us.